Hello, everybody. It's time for NXT. And wow, what a show we had tonight, man. Sorry this review is a little late. I wanted to get it up yesterday, but I mean, I saw Solo and was hanging out with the friends, so I mean, yeah, I just decided I'd just do it tonight. I'll probably get it up Thursdays from now on, but we're gonna do it on Friday this week. So yeah. This will probably be maybe my last show. I'm thinking of doing maybe a show on Sunday or one day during the weekend where I recap a bunch of wrestling news that came out or something like that, but I'm still debating whether to do that or not, so we'll see about that. Alright, but anyways, let's get to NXT. Now, the show starts out with a recap of last week with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, which was an awesome segment last week. Amazing, man. Like, what an amazing segment. Gargano is, in my opinion, the best babyface in wrestling right now, and Tommaso Ciampa is the best heel. They're just so good. Everybody's behind Johnny. Everybody hates Tommaso. It's like, how could you ask for a better thing going on right now than that? Like, you don't see this anymore. Like, you never see it like this. Like, usually in wrestling, like, the heels, they get cheered because they're funny or they're awesome. And faces, they get cheered too because, they're faces or whatever. But you never see, like, a heel get booed like Tommaso, like, except maybe Cody. But even then, Cody, he still has, like, a lot of fans. Nobody likes Tommaso Ciampa. Like, nobody. Every time he shows up, he gets booed out of the building. I'm like, he's great. He's the best heel. And they announced that they're both banned from NXT for a while because they're deemed too dangerous. Which, well, they almost killed Candace, so that's not good. But they announced that there's going to be a street fight at NXT TakeOver Chicago 2, and that's going to be probably another awesome match. I really hope it lives up to like the last match or even surpasses it, because if they do that I can't even handle it. That'd be too awesome. But I think if anybody can have 2 5-star matches in a row, it's these guys. Alright, so after that, we have an Aleister Black promo, and Aleister Black is one of the coolest guys ever. I love Aleister. And he looks great at the NXT Championship. He basically comes out and he says that he sees that there's a lot of dispute on who's going to face him at TakeOver, and he says no matter who it's going to be, they're going to fade to black. Lars Sullivan comes out and interrupts him, and he announces that William Regal gave him the title shot, so he's going to face Aleister Black. And he said, Aleister, you've faced everybody in the world for 16 years, but you've never faced a guy like Lars Sullivan. And it was awesome. So Lars attacks him, but then here comes Aleister Black fighting back, and Aleister Black goes for the black mask, but Lars Sullivan catches it, and the crowd goes nuts. They're like, oh my god, he caught it. Lars, he hits a freak accident on him, and he basically holds up the title, and this made Lars look like a freaking monster. I am excited for this match. This is the match I kind of wanted, because I was like, how do you, they should be facing each other, because, I mean, Lars, he's got, what's next for him? He's got to be in the NXT title picture, or North American title picture. He has to be in some kind of title picture. I don't think we need the title off of Adam Cole yet, and maybe, Aleister should win, but I mean, it should be a really close match. really give Alistair a challenge. Or if you give it to Lars and call up Alistair, I mean, I'm cool with that too. Whatever, man. Like, Alistair's definitely ready for main roster. He should probably be in that world title picture when he gets there because he's so good. I'd like to see him maybe on SmackDown, or I could see him on Raw, like, too. I don't know. I think he'd be great. He's gonna be great on the main roster. But yeah, Lars just looks like a monster. Next, there's a Candice. They show a Candice LeRae tweet where she's saying that she's not in support of this street fight and she hates to see her husband basically becoming what he despises. And I thought, man, this is a pretty great storyline so far. Even like Candice is really good in it, and she's doing great trying to sell being like, you know, Johnny's wife being so nervous about him, and just seeing him basically be torn apart by Tommaso Ciampa, and like, it's just a terrible thing to watch, and it's awesome. I love the storyline. Next, we get the War Raiders versus two jobbers. I don't know. I called them the Dark Squad in my notes. So Ro, he starts off as a big monster, just starts destroying everybody. Hanson, he soon joins in. They're just throwing these guys around left and right, throwing them across the ring. They're hitting some awesome moves, and the War Raiders just obviously win after just destroying them. So it was a really fun squash match. Hanson and Ro are awesome. I hope that they do successful in WWE. I'd love to see them on the main roster, you know, future tag champions. Like, obviously New Japan is where they really made their name, and they're awesome. Ring of Honor, just, they're a cool tag team. I'm excited to see them in NXT, and I hope that they start to get more, you know, like competitive matches instead of some squash matches and stuff. Like, I'm kind of like, I want to see something else, you know. And I'm really disappointed in that War Raiders and Heavy Machinery match, and like that one I really thought should have went longer. Like, it really disappointed me how that ended so quickly. Like, really, it should have ended like, it should have at least been like a 10-minute match. But, you know, whatever, because I love Heavy Machinery. They're awesome. Next, we get a Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler video package that hypes up their match. And it showcases Dakota Kai wanting to win that title, and like, it's always been her dream. And then Shayna comes in looking like a killer, like, yeah, you're not going to have that happen. And yeah, I'm like, well, Dakota's going to die tonight. But whatever. This will be awesome. Next is a video of EC3 showing up, being like, yeah, I'm top 1%. And it's pretty cool, and all that. I love EC3. Lacey Evans has a promo talking about how her next week she's going to face Kairi Sane in a rubber match, because they both got to win over each other. And now it's time to have the big rubber match and see who is superior, which I hope Kairi wins, because Kairi Sane is awesome. Lacey, she's getting up there. I think she's going to probably be like a really good female wrestler within the next couple, you know, years. Give her some time to develop down NXT, and I think she'll be awesome. Kairi Sane, she's obviously all ready for like main roster right now. I mean, she's great. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that match. Next is EC3 versus Fabian Eichner. EC3 looks like $1 million. I love EC3. I think he's probably one of my favorite guys right now, like in NXT and in WWE. Like, I love seeing EC3. He is so cool. Like, he's just funny. He's really awesome in the ring. So the fans are completely behind him. They have NX3 signs, all of them. It's pretty sick. And there's back and forth, and it's pretty good. And then Eichner slips thanks to EC3, and he goes to the outside. And as Eichner is on the outside, Johnny Gargano comes out of the crowd and announces that he signed the contract for the street fight, and now the match is official. And EC3, he looks like really mad. Johnny came in and interrupted his match, and next thing you know, Eichner just does this crossbody to the outside, and I thought it was possibly one of the best crossbodies I've ever seen in my life. Like, Eichner, he probably flew at least 15 feet in the air. It was, like, ridiculously high. He just does this big crossbody, just goes flying onto EC3. I was like, holy shit. Like, that was so crazy. That was one of the coolest moments of the whole night. I was like, all right, that might be one of the best crossbodies. But as soon as they get back in the ring, EC3 hits the top 1% and wins. And the match was fine. It was more really short, and it kind of got overshadowed by Johnny Gargano. And I wonder if this might lead to a match between them maybe next week or something. Or maybe a little down the line, maybe you'd be like, hey, you took my spotlight there, you shouldn't do that. Maybe they'll have like a little match or something. I don't know. Maybe not, because you probably don't want to have them lose, one of them lose like before TakeOver if you want to do something with them. There's a Bianca Belair video promo, and it's mostly her talking about her childhood and growing up, and it's nice to get you a little bit, better to know who she is. Thank God she didn't talk about any of her siblings in a creepy segment where, Lacey Evans is like, I'm going to expose her for being a bad sibling. I'll never forget Sami Zayn's stupid sister thing. Okay, next is possibly one of the best things ever. It's Ricochet versus Chris Dijak. Well, what comes after the match is awesome. Like, I am so excited for what happened after. And, okay, this is apparently Dijak's debut, which, awesome for him. Like, and what a great way to come in, facing Ricochet, really big star. And it's like, all right, well, probably going to lose. Hopefully he can do something. So Ricochet has control early. He's kicking Dijak's butt. And he goes for the suicide dive, but Dijak catches him and does like kind of a urinagi right onto the apron, which is really brutal. He rolls him in. Dijak, he's apparently 6'8" is what they're saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but he's a pretty tall guy. He's a big dude. He does a springboard elbow onto Ricochet, and the crowd went like, oh my god. I was like, that was really cool. Like, and then he goes for a moonsault, and he misses that. But I mean, like, wow, if this is what this guy can do, I can't wait to see what they can do with this guy. I hope they do something with him, because that was a pretty cool little showing they had there for him. Like, wow, big dude who can do all this cool stuff. Like, you don't see that too often. Like, and he did a great job facing Ricochet there. I'm really hoping that this guy does something, and I hope in the next couple of years he might, I don't know, he might be like excellent. So yeah, Ricochet, he basically deadlifts this dude. This is a great showing for Ricochet too. He deadlifts this guy into a suplex and suplexes him. It was like, wow, Ricochet is powerful, and he hits the 630 for the win. Overall, it was a good match and a good showing for Dijak. And Ricochet, he looks great in it too. So Ricochet cuts a promo where he basically calls out the Velveteen Dream. He says like he gives him props. He's like, you're a really good athlete. You're a really good personality. You're one of the most popular guys. And he's like, but when the light shines on you, it shows that you have such an ego and all this stuff. Just Ricochet, he's not that great a promo guy. Honestly, he's a lot better of a wrestler than a promo. But I mean, I can't hate on him because I like Ricochet as a wrestler. Like, and it's gotta be hard to do promos. I mean, it is probably really challenging to have to memorize all these lines and do this every single week. But, hopefully he can get better. Hopefully, like, from what I hear, for the Performance Center, WWE really focuses on like your character a lot, especially in the Performance Center. They don't really focus on wrestling. Ricochet's got his wrestling down. He just needs to really fine-tune that Ricochet character. Really needs to get that promo like skill up to a bit higher. If he can get that promo skill like excellent, then sky's the limit for him. He Universal Champion. Like, easy. He calls out Velveteen Dream, and Velveteen Dream interrupts him. And Velveteen Dream is basically like, well, hey, anything you can do, I can do better, And that's basically the theme of this. And Ricochet's talking about how much he's running his mouth. He's like, how about you come in and show me? And Velveteen Dream's teasing going in. He's like, yeah, we should save this spotlight for something bigger. How about TakeOver Chicago? And they announce this match for TakeOver Chicago. And he says, and remember, whatever you can do, the Dream can do better. And as he's walking away, he turns around. Ricochet's running at the ropes, does this flip. He just soars over the top rope, does a front flip, lands, goes up to the mic and says, show me. And it's just like Velveteen Dream's like shocked. The crowd was going nuts. They were losing their minds. Sorry again about the dog. He's got a little bit like the separation anxiety issues, let's say. He's just a little crazy. Love him, though. So, yeah. Ricky, where you at? I'm a chair. Whatever. Dog's fine. Okay. So, yeah, Ricochet really shows off his athletic ability there, and Velveteen Dream looks shocked. I mean, that was a cool move. I love that. So, yeah, there's that. Main event time where we get Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler. All I'm thinking is, well, okay, Dakota Kai's probably going to get murdered. And I was mostly right. Shayna, at first, she's just messing with her, like playing around with her, like just toying with her. A couple of weeks ago, I was listening to Brian Alvarez talking about this, and he was basically saying that it's like watching when they have their match, it's gonna be like a nature documentary. You want it to be like that, where you watch the lion come after the wounded gazelle and just rip it to pieces, which this definitely was. I totally agree with that. This was a nature documentary. Baszler is such a good heel. I love Shayna Baszler. I think she's going to be one of the best women's wrestlers in the entire company eventually. Like, how long has she been wrestling? I heard it's not no more than like a couple of years. And she's already like this. She's a good heel in the ring. She has all the charisma in the world. Her ring work's really good. I think that, man, by the time she gets called up, she's going to be awesome. I hope she has a long title reign at the NXT women's title. And whoever takes it off of her, they're going to be a big hero. It's going to be great. But, yeah, Shayna, I think that she's going to be a really hot commodity coming up into the main roster. And it's great that they finally, have this chick in here, and Ronda Rousey, and the other two of the four horsewomen of MMA going to be, joining up soon. The other two should be debuting, I guess, soon anyways. But yeah, they're awesome. So yeah, the Shayna, she does these leg stomps to Dakota Kai, which I cringed. I was like, oh my god. It was gross looking. It was like worse than that elbow spot at certain points, because I've had, some knee and leg injuries when I used to do Taekwondo. People would kick me in the legs, and I just hate getting kicked in the legs. So, yeah, she just does these leg stomps that are so brutal, like I said. Oh, Ricky. Here. He annoys me sometimes, but I love him. Alright. Okay, so yeah, these leg kicks are brutal. She goes up to Dakota Kai and she says, "You're the captain of Team Kick, aren't you? Why don't you kick me? Come on, kick me." Just mocking her. I'm like, it's kind of funny. I'm like, this is literally watching somebody get murdered on national television, and it's awesome. Well, not national television, but, on TV, and it's pretty awesome. I was just wondering if there's any mercy rule or whatever, that they could call for. Well, eventually Dakota, she comes back, she kicks Shayna and gets her down, and Dakota's getting some offense in, and she goes for this kind of move. Next thing you know, Shayna throws her up, catches her into basically the coquina clutch, and makes her tap out. And overall, I thought it was a fun little murder on TV. So it was pretty cool. I thought this was a great match for watching just somebody get destroyed. Man, Baszler's awesome. After the match, Baszler continues to choke her, and Nikki Cross comes in and goes psychotic on her, and Shayna looks so confused, and she's like, I'm just going to leave. Nikki, she goes up, grabs the title off her, and runs back in the ring, and basically says, come on and get it. And Shayna, she's cautious at first, and she goes to the title, Nikki grabs it, she's like, you, me, for this, tonight. And keeps saying that, and Shayna's really scared and nervous, what the hell's wrong with this lady? And she says to Dakota Kai, she's like, you're the referee, come on, let's do this. And Shayna's like, oh, give me the damn title back. Nikki turns her around, hits her with her finisher, and pins her, showing that, hey, she can beat her. And I guess Nikki unofficially won the title. She leaves with the title, basically. It's so bizarre. I was like, this is crazy. But I thought this was kind of an interesting way to set up their match at Chicago. That's going to happen, I bet. I mean, that's kind of what they basically said, that, hey, at Chicago, they're going to face. And I thought this was unique, and I thought it worked really well for Nikki Cross to do this, because Nikki Cross is awesome, and she's so weird and bizarre. I really think that this was probably one of the better ways you could have done this, this kind of stuff. I mean, you can't really do that with anybody else. You can't just have them win the title so unofficially, this makeshift thrown together match. I thought that was really awesome that she basically is celebrating she won the title, she's Mick Foley and all that stuff. I mean, but I thought it was a unique way to establish her as a threat to Shayna, and yeah, their match at TakeOver is probably gonna be awesome. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. So overall, this show was pretty darn great. I thought for the past 2 weeks on NXT, I think were kind of better. That one 6-man tag match, with 2 weeks ago, with Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch and oh my god, Pete Dunne. Okay, I forgot his name for a second. I had a brain fart. But yeah, that match, that might be one of my favorite matches of this year. It was so awesome. That match was sick. That was one of the best 6-man tag matches I've ever seen. So I mean, when you that show was so cool, and last week's show was really cool too. This week's show, I thought it was a really good show overall, and it really sets up a lot for TakeOver that I'm excited for. And it's just that the main event, it wasn't this back and forth great technical match. It was just a murder, and then set up for the Nikki Cross and Shayna Baszler match. So yeah, I think that was a good show overall. And like I said, not as good as 2 weeks ago, but I mean, how do you reach that again? I mean, you just have to have that match go on again, just basically do that match every single week. I say that was a fantastic match. But yeah, so that's NXT. Thank you all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Share this with your friends. If you have friends who like wrestling, get them into this show, because I'm going to be talking about it a lot. And yeah, I'm happy to be doing this. We made it to 3 reviews so far, so that's pretty good. So yeah, let's see. Let's see where this goes. Have a good night, good morning, or whatever time of day you're watching this. Bye, guys.